Good afternoon once again. Oh, sorry, I'm jumping the gun. Right. Good afternoon once again, and welcome to ROKSTEDI TV. It's yours truly, DJ Jossy, and today we are going stateside to bring you uh, the story of two young gentlemen, very ambitious, very, very gentle, as in very modest and down to earth. Yeah, you walk by them on the street and you never even know that these guys are superstars. They're hardworking and they are at the minute making both themselves, the family, and Nigeria and the United States of America, where they are born, making them very proud. Before I go on, I'd like to ask all our viewers to please continue to share, subscribe, and you can go on our chat column, on our comments column to make comments. If you want to, you can ask questions as well. And we'll do as much as possible to send your questions to the, or read out the questions to the gentlemen in the studio, our special guests. And we will do as much as possible to try and answer as much of your questions as possible if you have them, and read out as much of your comments as possible if we can. But we cannot guarantee that we'll do everything. Please, no politics, no politics, no religion. This is strictly an entertainment channel. And as we all know, sports is a very, very important and popular form of entertainment. And these guys are right in the thick of it. They are into entertainment. One of them in particular is into music, and is actually a member of an Afrobeat, US-based Afrobeat group. Without much ado, I'll let the gentlemen introduce themselves. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Adetokunbo Ogundeji and Alex Akingbulu. Uh, we will ask you questions one at a time, and we'll be grateful if you can answer the questions. Especially, a lot of questions are coming in from our viewers, and they would like to know your story and know your history, share your history. Right. Now, for, for viewers meeting you for the first time, who are Tokes and Alex beyond football? I'll start with Alex. Beyond football, how would you describe yourself? And you might well take this opportunity to tell us about yourself, quick background, growing up, and stuff like that. We will get to how you got into the gridiron game. We'll get to that with time. Alex.
How's everybody doing? My name's Alex Akingbulu. I was born in Los Angeles, California. My parents actually moved from Nigeria to America around the age of 28, 29. Grew up in LA. Didn't play football till late. Didn't play football till junior year high school. Before then, I'll say I was a quiet kid. Played on the game, just the last. I was the last born, right? So two older siblings, one brother, one sister. So being the last kid, you kind of stay in your own lane, just kind of, stay in the room, play the game. I would say I didn't really blossom till football kind of gave me that confidence. Besides football, I do make music, Afrobeats to be specific. Part of a group called YDN, Young Determined Nigerians. Recently, I just released a solo project as well called Bulu, Bulu, which is the name that everybody kind of calls me by, which is uh, which is half of my last name. Been kind of exploring that realm of just releasing solo music as well. I'll say that's definitely part of my passion. It helps me just kind of gives me peace and calmness compared to the hectic life of football. So I'll say like that's definitely something off the field that I do a lot. So I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. And the same question to Adetokunbo. Tell us a bit about yourself, please.
Yeah, my name is Adetokunbo Ogundeji. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Um, Similar to Alex, I didn't play football until late. I have an older brother, and he played a lot of sports growing up, and I think that's what got me into a bunch of sports. We started off playing a lot of basketball when I was younger, and then kind of like when I got into like late, probably like middle school, high school, I just kind of started playing football and got blessed with that. I would say outside of football, I've always had a passion of, sports in general, just like watching sports and playing sports. So I've always had a passion for that. Outside of that, I mean, I've always had a passion of just reading books, doing different things like that. So I've been blessed with that. And then right now, I'm coaching at Vanderbilt. So using the football as a platform to help the youth. I think I've always had a part of my life just trying to help the youth, whether it was when I was younger, people helping me, and then now me helping younger people. So that's been kind of my life journey in just a small little segment.
Thank you very much. I just got notification here that we are having problems streaming to Facebook. So those of you who are trying to get us on Facebook, whether it's playing up, fluctuating, or whatever, don't worry, bear with us. When we finish this, it will be shared on all platforms, on all social media platforms. So don't you worry if you can't get through. I'd like to say a big thank you to Mrs. Catherine Onadeko, who has joined us. Thank you very much indeed. And please keep it coming. Keep your comments coming. Right. Growing up as Nigerians abroad, Tokes, what was it like growing up as a Nigerian American, and how did your heritage shape your character? Tokes.
I think it was great growing up. I mean, there's so much culture in African culture in general, and especially in Nigeria, there's a lot of culture. So just like my mom and dad were huge in like bringing culture and everything that we did, and being and telling us that hey, be proud of your name, be proud of where you come from. And so like it was always been a part of my childhood, especially just with my name in general, meaning something and then bringing it out there, and then just like the culture, whether it was like going to family events with Alex, or going to like different parties or whatever we did, we brought the culture, which was always fun. So it's always been a part of my life. It still is. I mean, I just came back from a Nigerian party, and it was a ton of fun, and it was great. And so I think it's always part of my life and will be a part of my life.
Thank you. Yeah, what people don't know, I'm going to let the first cat out the bag. There are a couple of cats to let out the bags. What you guys don't know is that Adetokunbo and Alex are actually first cousins. So it's good for you to grab that. Yeah.
Not
So still with talks, were there Nigerian values from the home, from your home that helped you succeed in sports? Was
absolutely. I
there
think
anything there?
Yeah, I think even just outside of sports, I think my parents and I think just Nigerian culture in general is just like discipline. Like I think I learned a lot of discipline from my parents and my mom and my dad that they instilled in me. I think also just like the respect that you have to have for the elders and for other people. I think that brought me huge success when I was at Notre Dame and when I played football, and even just off the football field. And I just think the focus on schooling and everything like that. Like I think my parents made very like they were very disciplined on when it came to school, it's school time, and then when it came to play, it's play time. And then just the discipline part of it, I think it was huge for me. So
Thank you. Alex, over to you now. Growing up in LA with Nigerian parents, what part of your culture have stayed with you the most to date?
Um, Man, I will say honestly, the music the most. I will honestly say that. I'll say the number one thing I thank my parents for, um, in terms of just keeping the Nigerian culture, alive and instilled in me and my siblings' life was going to a Nigerian church. That really shaped us as kids, um, being able to, hear the language, see other children just like us running around, see other parents who, just came from Nigeria. The culture was very bright in our church.
A lot
And,
of
and
drumming, singing, and dancing.
and that's what really gravitated towards me when the first time I heard those drums. We had a really good drummer, and the first time I heard those drums, I'm like, this is not like any other drums I've heard before. This is not, the piano's being played differently, and I definitely gravitated towards that. I wasn't in the choir myself. My sister was in the choir, but praise and worship. Everybody knows praise and worship
Oh yeah, my favorite
was
part of church service.
I made sure I was there for praise and worship. That's my favorite part, So I can say that was kind of my first glimpse at Nigerian culture, and what really gravitated me towards um, culture the most was the music. So I'll definitely say that.
Right. Thank you very much, Alex. Stokes, take us back to when you first fell in love with football. Well, we call it football. We call it American football over here. Obviously,
Yeah.
what we call football is what you guys call soccer. So, if you are listening from here, Nigeria, and any other where in the world, when I say football, I actually mean American football. Okay. So, for those of you who are going to have a go at me, when you finish watching this, I would call our football soccer for now. We have to respect our guests, okay? So take us back, Tokes, to when you first fell in love with football. I think you answered that. Can you expatiate on it a little bit? You did say something about that in your intro. Tokes, Adetokunbo. Did you get that? Okay.
Oh, it's frozen.
Yeah, Tokes might be frozen at the minute. What I will do is I'll go to Alex, and when Tokes is back to us, I'll feed back to him. Is that okay, Alex? Yeah?
Yeah, that's no problem.
You also played American football at high level. What attracted you to the sports?
Man, going back, like I said, I started very late, very, very late. I'll say this in America with football, when you're child, is called pee wee football. I will say I was a basketball kid growing up. Since I was a little kid, I played basketball center. I would travel, go to different states to play the game. I remember one year when I was probably around like 12, I did want to try out football. My friends were playing, so I went to try out, but apparently there's a weight limit when you're a child. So I missed the weight limit. Um, for any tier of football. So technically, I couldn't play at all because I was too heavy. Mind you, I was very tall back then as well. So that was my only attempt trying to play football as a child. Getting that, I was like, it's a sign, it's not for me. So I just continued playing basketball throughout, middle school, high school, and then junior high came back around. I think just the influence of friends. Usually, people don't talk about how important that is. Um, all my friends played football, and I was always the one in high school that never played. So, like when basketball season was over, um, they would go play football, and I would just stay playing basketball, kind of by myself in the summer leagues. So one day they were walking over to the football um, section or facility at the school, and I've never been in there, so I was like, let me just poke my head in there and see, what do they like, what it is over there, because basketball is a little bit more finesse. I was very curious to see kind of how the locker room and how the weight room looks in the football side. So I walked in there, and yeah, it was a lot of loud noise. The players were definitely different. Um, but I said what's up to my friends, and on the way out, that's when the head coach, grabbed me and was just like, "Who are you? Where like?" where have you been? Because I was obviously big. I was by that point. I was probably at my height I am now, 6'5", 6'6". Very skinny though. Very, 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 very skinny. Like 220 pounds at most. And it was just like, where are you coming from? I told him I've been here, I've just been playing basketball. And he was like, yeah, you're playing the wrong sport. He asked what position I played. I played center, and he was like, listen, in basketball, in high school, you're tall for basketball, but if you're trying to go, to the professional level, 6'6" is actually very common height. It's not that tall, especially at your position. You have 7-footers at your position. And he said, if you really want to, change your life, come try out football and see where it takes you. And honestly, when he said that, I had to think back, and I was like, okay, well, he's actually right. I've I've had to guard 7-footers, and it's not fun. And I just knew at the next level, I wouldn't be able to separate myself in basketball. So that's when I took the chance. I'll say the first year playing football, I didn't know what was going on. I was just kind of out there, just being an athlete. We figured out on the fly. Nigerians will figure it out on the fly. But I didn't know what was going on. I was just kind of out there, so I couldn't say I fell in love with the game my first year. I really couldn't say that. I felt like the first year I was just trying to figure everything out. But then once I understood the ins and outs of the game, the technique of the game, just the different like tricks of the game, and then also once I was able to gain that camaraderie in the locker room, which is not talked about enough, how team centric the game of football is compared to most other games. In basketball, you can have one star player and it can carry you very, very far. Football, you really have to have every single person on the same page. And I grew those are the closest to guys I've grown close to um, leading up to my whole life. So I was able to really build, a community, and that's when I can truly say that's when I fell in love with the game.
Thank
Just the
you.
camaraderie of it. So
Thank you very much. I think we have Adetokunbo back now, so hopefully
okay,
my producer can add him up. But I still got one more. I've got a couple more questions for you, Alex. Um, what was the biggest lesson football taught you that you now apply to your music business?
discipline is number one. Um, you realize in this world a lot of people don't have discipline. So when you do apply discipline, you kind of set yourself forward in some ways. I'll say like schedule planning, being on time. So that's setting times compared to like meetings for football. You have studio time for music, being on time, having a plan, being efficient when you hit the studio, knowing what you're trying to get done, planning a release. It's all the behind the scenes stuff. The fun part of making music is that's just strictly off of just how emotion and talent and how you're feeling. I think it's all the stuff they don't talk about in the music business, which is, like I said, planning a release, scheduling and finding editors for videos. So all of that stuff, football really helped me out a lot.
I gotta say something. Sorry to break it. One of our guests, T40 Perfume, thank you for joining us. Thank you ever so much. She did say she's taking you up on what you said, Alex. She said 220 pounds is not skinny for UK. We're talking big now.
You
Look,
know,
there's another thing I need to tell. I need to tell the audience, right? All our viewers. I'm letting the other cat out of the bag now because apart from the fact that these two young men that are special guests today are cousins, they are also my nephews. So I used to watch them in those days when I visited LA. I used to see them in the back garden, running around, playing basketball. I honestly thought they were both going to be basketball players, but look at them now. And someone's always saying, one of our viewers is also saying 6.4 is super tall. I have a little story to tell about that as well. When I went to California. I went to the Rose Bowl to see um, Adetokunbo play. That was privileged because it was an honestly, it was absolutely a carnival. I mean, the Americans know how to enjoy their sports. I really, really had fun. Now, I took some pictures and I posted it on my social media page, one of my social media pages. And one of my friends, I'm 6'2", and one of my friends says to me, Jossy, he made a comment for the whole world to read. Jossy, I thought you were tall, you're a midget, because I was standing between the two of you, and it was like a valley. I was right down there, and you guys were up there. They are really, really tall. They are very tall, and they are big boys but they're gentle giants. So yeah, if I may go on to the next question, so that we don't waste too much time, Alex. One more question for you. How do you stay mentally strong when facing setbacks?
Man, how do I stay mentally strong? I don't know. I think it's a matter of accumulated success and accumulated adversity. I think after the first time I hit adversity, probably younger in my life, probably in high school, it was a little harder to bounce back, right? It was I kind of had to have somebody in my corner. I kind of had to have a coach or a parent in my corner to kind of tell me, get up and go again. And then once you start accumulating those adversities of failing in your mental, you grow a callus to that, right? So the next time I fall, I don't need somebody else to tell me to get up. I remember I fell before and I got up and I was able to move forward even more spaces. So in my brain, I'm like, I've done it before. I can do it again. So then it was just continually throughout my experiences being able to build up that callus to where I'm confident in um I'm confident in that. And it's the same thing on the field, man. Like I played offensive line, right? So I block for the quarterback. If I play a position where I'm not supposed to be noticed. The only reason you are noticed is if you're doing bad, if the quarterback gets sacked. So at my specific position, we cannot live in the past. If something happens, one play, you have to clear it and move on. So like that helped me in life too. If something happens, I don't think about it. It happened. It is what it is. I can't go back and change it. You just got to suit up, brush it off, and go to the next play.
Right. Thank you. A quick question to Alex from one of our viewers, Mrs. Catherine Onodeko. Alex, how long do you see yourself playing before retirement? Is it a lifetime profession?
Football is not a lifetime profession. Football, I wish it was. It's not like, I feel like when you play soccer or basketball, you see LeBron playing 40 or so. Football it's very physical, man. It takes a toll on the body. I'll say, um, I'll go as long as my body lets me. I feel good right now, but I don't see myself, it wouldn't be too smart to be playing, you know, forever. So I'll say, and I tell the children this all the time, any camps I go to, football is not forever. You should definitely plan on, creating a life outside of football. But like I said, my body feels good. So I definitely know I got some more years in me, not 10 more years, but I do have a few more years in me for sure.
Good luck. Good luck with that, and long may it continue. I wish you well. Now,
Thank you.
before I go to talks, I would like to appeal to our viewers again. Please continue to share. We are available on all social media handles. Continue to share. Continue to chat with us. Continue to share your opinions with us as well, and continue to subscribe. So back to you, talks. Take us back to when you first fell in love with football.
Yeah, I think for me, I started playing football in middle school. I would say I was definitely a big basketball fan. My older brother played basketball. I was huge in basketball. I think even just like Alex and all of us, we were big basketball fans. So that's kind of started me. And then, like Alex was saying, like I had some friends who kind of got me involved with football. And I don't think I really enjoyed it as much until I got into high school. And I think the one thing about football that it can bring people from all over together. In my high school team, I went to a public school. Like we were like there was a lot of different people and a lot of different situations, and I realized like, man, this is so much fun just being around in the locker room and hanging around people, and just the competition of it. Like there's a winner and there's a loser. Like I love that part of it. I've always been a competitive guy, and so I love that part of it. And then I kind of just fell in love with it. I would say like my sophomore, really my freshman year of high school. Like that's when I was like, man, I really love the sport. I really love what it brings. Really love like the people it brings and the diversity you get. So that's when I fell in love.
Thank you. Um, what was the toughest obstacle on your journey to the NFL?
Um, I mean, I feel like there was a ton of obstacles. I mean, I remember in college, like I didn't really play a lot until like towards the end of my year. So just waiting my turn and being patient, that was something that was hard. Just saying, hey, like I had the opportunity. Even and then even when I did play my senior year, it wasn't like I was starting. I was backing up, and then I started my last year. So I think there was always been adversity. I think the biggest thing for me was just being patient, understanding that God has a plan, and whatever position I was in, I was like, okay, I just gotta take it one step at a time. Just focus on the right now. And so I think that was a big part of me in college was just focusing on what was important right then and there, and then taking it from there.
Good. Now, this is a very interesting question, right? What was it like hearing your name being called on NFL draft day? I know what it was like for me because I stayed up literally all night waiting for that name Ogundeji to be called. And each time the name wasn't called, I was sipping my Guinness and getting frustrated, slapping myself on the chair. I was just, but when the name was eventually called, oh my days. But we want to hear your story about it. The day
Yeah, I mean, it was an anxious time. It was kind of crazy because it was during COVID, and so like I really only had like this main family at my house. And so yeah, it's definitely anxious. Like it's definitely a little stressful. It's a weird process because you just waiting on a phone call and you don't know who the phone call and what person it is. It can be just a random phone call and they're calling you. So throughout the time I had my phone on me, and I got called on the third day, which was the last day. And so for me it was just kind of like they were just kind of towards the last day they just start keep going with the picks. And so I remember I was just like at that point I was like, man, it's whatever. Whoever calls me at this point is whatever. And I had some teams like calling me and interested on me being undrafted and whatever. And finally I went upstairs just to like, man, just to chill. And I literally just got a call, and it was an Atlanta 678 area code. And sure enough, like the Atlanta Falcons called, and it's probably the one of the coolest experience I've ever had in my life. Just being there with my family, my parents, as I'm taking the phone call, like it was pretty amazing. And then seeing your name on there and being able to see that, like it was a huge accomplishment. So I'm blessed.
Thank you very much. And obviously, Atlanta Falcon was the first team, the
Yep,
first NFL team. Did you actually go on to play for other NFL teams?
I did. I played for one more team. I played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, the Steelers. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Okay. Before I go back to you, let me throw that question to Alex as well. Not quite when you were drafted. What teams did you play for, or are you still playing? And if you are, what team are you playing for now?
Yeah, so I didn't get drafted. I remember, like you said, that last day, it was just 3 days of drafting, and then the last day happened. I didn't get the call, so it was just another fuel in my tank. I was lucky enough to go to this developmental league. It was called the USFL at that time. So they were actually playing in the spring. So I was able to go straight from not getting drafted into that league just to show, that I do belong, right? So I played a few games there, and then luckily that summer, so about what 3 months after the draft, I was then called. I was actually taking a walk. Well, actually, I was on a bike trying to, work out, and then my agent called me and told me that the Washington Commanders wanted me to come in for a workout. So I remember vividly hearing that, and I just knew for me, I just needed a foot in the door. So literally that next day, I was on a flight to Washington. It was a group of us that all were kind of working out for the same spot. And I just gave it my all. I just gave it my all. I just remember after the workout, they asked me, like where did I come from? Like they didn't know, I was available or I was in the draft. So after I knew that, they signed me that next day, and I was with them for roughly 2.5, 3 years. And that's the only team, I've been with. Right now, I'm currently still playing. I'm back in the UFL league, which is like I said, a developmental league to work my way back up. I did get injured, so that was, the best way to show that I am healthy now, and I'm just waiting for a call for this NFL camp.
Thank you. Back to you, Tokes. You've competed at the highest level. What lesson from football has impacted your life the most?
Oh man, I would say probably just the fight and the adversity. I mean, in football, you're always gonna have adversity. It don't matter if it's at practice, if it's in a game. I mean, even off the field, like just film and everything, you're gonna have adversity, and it's just pushing forward. And I think, I mean, I'm biased, but I think football is one of the hardest sports to play, just physically. And so you have to push yourself. I've had a ton of injuries, and so just kind of coming back from those, that was like a motivation for me and helping me learn even now to this day that even now that I'm done is just learning that hey, like when things come your way, you just gotta fight, push through, and take it one day at a time.
Thank you. And also, how do you stay mentally strong when facing setbacks?
I would say number one, I'm a big believer in God. My mom is big in faith. My parents are big in faith. My family's big in faith. So I would say number one, God. I mean, I wouldn't be here without him. So I'm a big believer in praying and taking it one day at a time. And then I would say two is just like mentally, it's like everybody's kind of got their journey. Everybody's kind of got their own thing. I think for me personally, it's just like, you know, I think about just what am I grateful for when I get things like that. It's like, hey, like I'm in a situation right now. When I got hurt, I was like, man, I'm hurt, whatever. But there's a lot of people who are not in my situation, who are fighting to try to make a team, who aren't getting paid, who are homeless, who are this and that. So I always think back to like, man, I got a lot of things going for me, and I'm blessed for what I have right now. And I think about the things I'm grateful for.
Thank you. We'll go to Alex for this. This is a question for both of you. What? No, no. Sorry. I'll take one at a time. We'll alternate it. What's it like having a cousin who understands the same journey as you, Alex?
It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. It's crazy because you know, both of our journeys were kind of happening back to back, right? We're around the same age, so it was crazy. Man. It was crazy growing up, bro. Because like I said, he's the youngest, I'm the youngest, bro. So I feel like we both kind of had that chip, and we both just kind of understood, just being, not necessarily overlooked, bro, but definitely slept on. So it was really dope seeing. Just seeing his journey and then my journey unfolding at the same time. um, I wish we, played a game, whether in college or in the pros together. That would have been hella dope. But I'm hella proud of him, man. It's definitely been, you know, dope to see somebody you're so close with, kind of, having the same journey around the same time, which is hella dope.
Yeah. Before I ask Tokes the next question, what I want to advise our viewers, if you want to know more about these guys, they are big. Just you can see their names, Alex Akingbulu and Adetokunbo Ogundeji. Google, just go on Google and type in Alex Akingbulu or Adetokunbo Ogundeji. You will see a lot of information about them. these are guys we should be proud of. We definitely are proud of you at ROKSTEDI TV, and I'm sure each and every one, both here and back home and all over the diaspora, are proud of you because you're doing us proud. Okay? Now this question: what will it be like if you were to play against each other? Have you played against each other because you're both in the NFL? But if you haven't, what would it be like if you play against each other at Turks?
Well, first off, I would say too, just to go back on that last question, like me and Alex doing, like I'm proud of Alex for what he's done. I remember like just vividly, we was on a visit together. We went to go to Michigan together because he was taking a visit, and right then and there, I was like, man, it's crazy. Like we both are doing something that doesn't really happen, and we both going on a visit, and it was really for him, not me, but like it was a dope experience for both of us to be a part of that, and I was like, man, this is really dope. And then we haven't played against each other. I think there was one game where he was up, he was just like I don't know. I think we saw each other at halftime or after the game, and but I mean, I don't know. The matchup would have been fun. I mean, it would be dope. Like he's a big offensive lineman. He's got long arms. I think that we've been blessed with that in our family. So I don't know. It would have been a dope matchup though. I've been excited about that for sure.
Okay,
No, for
Alex,
sure.
what's one thing people don't know about you guys? One thing people don't know about you,
About me,
both of you. I leave that
Oh
question
man.
with both of you. Is there anything quite peculiar, anything that quite I wouldn't say weird, anything particularly peculiar or interesting that people don't really know about you? To both of you very quickly, please.
I'm trying to think. Don't know about me.
I would say for me, I wasn't actually a singer. I don't got any type of vocals at all by any means. I was in a choir at church and I was terrible. But I would say in middle school, I actually was like I played the violin and I was in like an orchestra from like I was there from like sixth grade to eighth grade and then a little part of like ninth grade. So that was a skill set that I was
What,
like doing when I was younger.
what about DJing? This is not
No,
fair.
I mean
I'm
I'm not
waiting for
gonna lie.
someone
I
to take
definitely
over
got
this job from me.
no the playlist is fire, but I don't know if I got the DJ type. That's all Alex.
Man, I dabbled in the DJing. I didn't really during COVID I tried. So uh I give you props for all the DJing you've done because
Not
that's
facts.
it's definitely a very good skill to have, and it takes a lot from your brain to be that multitasking. But like I don't know, I think I'll just stick to the music really. We've been able to blessed to perform and open up for big artists like Davido, Burna Boy, Ashake. So I'll just say the music. Honestly, is definitely, especially the type of music I make. I feel like people see how big I am and think I'm like maybe like more hardcore rapping, but then you hear the music and you hear the voice, and you're like, it's kind of hard to put it together. So I'll say that.
Okay. Have you guys ever inspired each other or challenged each other to become better?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, like once once I went on that visit from Alex, I think that always was an inspiration. Like, hey man, he's making it, I'm making it, and then even now seeing him do his thing with the music, like I mean, I think Alex is a huge role model for anybody, especially for myself. It's just like looking at him, seeing him do what he does, like building a name for himself outside of football. I think is huge and important because I think that's a thing that people don't understand is like when football's gone, and you got to figure out another career. And I think Alex did a great job throughout like football, understanding what his passion was outside of football. And now that it's becoming something that's reality, like it's pretty cool to see.
Thank you. Like this picture on the screen, yeah, it reminds me of. I'm going back to what I said earlier on, right? We're a very big family. That's Alex's mom, who is my junior sister. She's a 6 footer, but look at her beside her. Oh my. Just look at that. Just look at that beside Alex. And
Dang.
you haven't even seen those. I don't know. Which one of you is
Oh
taller?
my
Do you
god.
know?
bro. I feel like he's taller than me. I don't know,
No,
man.
I'm
I feel
not
like
taller. Alex is definitely taller than me.
you got, bro. But you have like, I think you got longer arms than me, bro. I don't know, bro. You tall, bro. Like we're both tall for sure.
What
We're
one
It's
both
thing
just
tall for
what
definitely,
sure.
one
yeah.
thing for certain, they're both gentle girls. They are big men. Honestly, you don't want if you're not tall enough, don't stand between them because you're gonna be embarrassed. I tell you that now. Right, Alex, we're gonna ask a few very quick fire questions about your music as we don't want to overstep our time. Fans, football fans know you as an athlete, but music lovers know you as King Bulu. When did music become more than just a hobby to you? And where did King Bulu come from?
Well, King Bulu, if you can see my last name at King Bulu, it was just natural. Since I was little, people called me Bulu, because it's part of my last name. So it was just fitting to, have my artist name as King Bulu because, I was just blessed with, I think, a really dope last name. So, but music was definitely a hobby, like late high school with my friends. We just messing around, freestyling and stuff. I'll say, like in college, it definitely got serious when we were able to perform. We actually performed um, at UCLA. We did a bunch of colleges. We had a little college tour, and performing and seeing people actually sing our songs, I believe that's the moment that I realized, okay, this can be more than just a hobby. And then that kind of elevated into, like I said, opening up for um different any artists that came to, LA from Nigeria. So yeah.
Okay, your music blends your music blends Afrobeat, hip hop, and R&B. How would you describe the King Bulu sound?
I said it's very, very, very unique. Obviously, I wasn't born in Nigeria, so I don't try to necessarily emulate, traditional Afro beats. I know, my background is different, so I just try to embrace my background, right? And us being able, I grew around a lot of different types of people, right? I grew around listening to rap music as well. I grew around listening to R&B, old school Alicia Keys, all the way from Alicia Keys to even guys like Chief Keef and Kanye West. So it's like just kind of blending all of it together, and I've been able to bridge the gap, right? So I've been able to proudly say I've brought a lot of people into the Afrobeats world. A lot of people who never have listened to Afrobeats, and I brought them into the world based on the sound that kind of invites all different cultures.
Do you see yourself as an ambassador for the Nigerian culture through music?
Absolutely. I definitely see myself as an ambassador in just the diaspora of just African culture in general, especially out here in America, where you can see since I was, young, I've seen the urge to know more about our culture grow more and more and more to where like Afrobeats is one of the biggest genres now in America. And there's Afrobeats parties every single weekend now in
Worldwide,
America.
worldwide.
Yes, and it's crazy seeing it from once I like 2012 all the way to now. Like it's grown to a stage where I can truly be proud of, any if anything, if any input I had towards that.
Okay. Now, can you name some of the Afrobeat artists that you have actually collaborated with or shared the stage with, and and what can fans expect? When can fans expect a new project or collaboration from you soon?
Man, like I said, any artist that's came to the States usually has a stop in Los Angeles, and we've opened up for Davido, Burna Boy, Ashake, Wizkid, Mary Coon, Kiss Daniels, who else? The bands we've opened up for Rema, we've opened up for pretty much anybody who's gone through Los Angeles, we've opened up for them. And that's all been a good experience being able to learn from them as well. And in terms of the music, I just dropped about a month or so ago. I just dropped the solo project titled Bulu. It's out on all platforms. Has kind of have every a song for everybody on there. So I literally just dropped the album about a month ago. So
Good. We will most likely, most definitely bring you back with your gang, what with your group. I don't know why I said gang. With your group, I
that's
will
cool.
do. We'll do a strictly music interview for you guys because I've seen you. You guys have been to Nigeria, right?
Of course, I was just there literally last December as well, networking, making some collabs with some artists that I'm working on as well.
So we're going to finish with some very quick fire questions now. I just want mostly one word answers, and I'll start with you, Talks. Favorite Nigerian food?
Mm.
Uh, Jollof rice.
One Nigerian word everybody should know?
uh, me. We'll say that.
I mean, amen. Okay,
Hey, that's a good. Hey, I ain't mad at that.
three, three, three people who inspired your career.
uh, Mom, dad, brother.
Good. Uh, if you weren't an athlete, what would you be?
Oh man, who knows? Probably what I'm doing right now is coaching. So coaching football.
Thank you, Alex. Favorite Afrobeat artist? I'm putting you on the spot now.
Mm. I can't say me. I'll say Davido.
All right. Yeah, it's a very good one. One word question: studio or football?
That's crazy.
Yeah, sorry, I have to put you on the first one.
I'll say football because um studio doesn't go do it doesn't age football age, so I'll say football.
What song? One song everybody should hear.
Say it again. Sorry.
One song that the title of one song that everybody should hear.
Right now I'm feeling it's a song called Boogie. I'm feeling that one.
Okay, right. If you could collaborate with any artist in the world, in the whole wide world, who would that be?
Is it dead or alive?
Sorry,
Dead, dead or alive?
alive.
Um, one day Cole.
Right. Right. Once again, to both of you, what message do you have for young Nigerians in Africa and across the diaspora who are thinking of getting into sporting positions and ambassadorial positions like you? To both of you, talks first. What
I
advantage would you
was
like to give to young Nigerians in Africa and across the
Any
diaspora?
advice I would say is like whatever you have in mind, whether it's football, music, or whatever, could be banking. Who knows? I would just say put it all in. Like pull your chips all in. Bet on yourself. I think that was the biggest thing I ever did when I was in college, and then when I did in the NFL, is I bet on myself each and every time, and you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with putting all your chips in one basket and saying, "Hey, man, I got to do it." You put it all in there and you work hard for it. Good things are gonna happen.
Right. What's next for both of you? Alex, starting with you, what's next now?
Just continue my journey. God willing, I get a call and back to the league, and I can continue to show what I can do. Playing this game as long as my body lets me, and then once my body tells me it's time, then transition over to the next world, whether that's continuing my music and or adding another passion into what I want to do.
Okay, Tokes, same question. What's next for you?
I think for me, I've been coaching for. I'm on my second year now coaching. I'm with Vanderbilt. I think that's been kind of my calling after football, and this has been something that I'm really passionate about. I really love the game of football and what it's done to me, and I'm trying to help other guys get to that position as well.
Or did your career was your career affected by injury? Was it injury that made you go into this, or was it
Yeah, it
just
was a part of it. I tore my labrum, and then shortly after, I tore my Achilles,
oh
and
my god?
so yeah. So I think injuries, like Alex says, a physical sport, and NFL it stands for, a lot of people know this, but it stands for not for long. So it's not a profession where you go 20 years or 30 years. You get in and you try to get as many years as you can, and if you get as many years as you can, you try to work from there. And so for me, I came back from the injury. I just wasn't myself, and I knew I wasn't myself. And even when I tried to come back, it just didn't feel right. So, God had the plan for me, and now I'm here at Nashville, and so I can't complain at all. I love it here. I love what I do, and I'm blessed.
All right. Tokes, where can your fans follow your journey?
Again, I'm with Vanderbilt football, so we need some Vandy fans, so they can always watch Vandy football. I'll be on the sidelines. I'm not really on TV too much, so. And then I'm on social media. Adeokundeji is my name on basically all the platforms. So that's it.
And same with you, Alex. Where can your fans follow your journey?
Yeah, I'm on all platforms. At Instagram at YDN Kingbulu, on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. If you want to follow and look me up on Apple Music or Spotify or Audio Mac as well, to search King Bulu, and you'll find my music as well. So just Google me and anything will pop up.
I know about your TikTok handle. You're super active on TikTok. God, every
You
second,
have
man.
you have to be. We're in an age where consistency is very, very. You have to get out of this algorithm now. So you got to be
Okay,
posting.
final questions, guys. Where, finally, what does being proudly Nigerian mean to you? I'll start with you, Tux, and then
Um,
Alex, you can take over.
I mean, it means everything for me. I mean, I think, like, for me, especially like my name, it means everything. My family, like Nigerian culture is like no other. With just the family, the music, the people, the religion, like all of it. It all is different from any other country in the world. And so I think it means a lot to me. I hold it in a special place with my family. Anytime I go home, whether it's for weddings or family functions or whatever, I always like come back and realize like, man, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be around this great family, around this culture, around everything that it has. And so I'm blessed.
Alex, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Nigeria is one of the richest cultures in the world, and I wake up every day proud to be Nigerian, proud to eat the great food, proud to hear the great music, proud to see the great colors in our fashion, proud to hear our dialects of what we talk, and even importantly, our mentality. I feel like we are hardworking people. We've spread out throughout literally through the world. Now you can see anywhere we go, we first. So I can truly say, our mentality is definitely something that just going. So I'm proud for that.
Thank you very much. We're kind of having a bad line there, but yeah, thank you so much, Tokes and Alex. Your stories remind us that talent, discipline, and staying connected to your roots can open doors across the world. We wish you both continued success in everything you do, and we look forward to seeing what's next. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having you here again to discuss additional progress in in your respective lives and career. Thank you very much for honoring us. We're very privileged. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. And to all our viewers, we say thank you once again. Don't forget to continue to share, and share, subscribe, and you can actually be part of this by joining us. Thank you very much. And once again, we are happy to have you. Stay
Thank you,
blessed.
Uncle, for having us, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it. This
one
was
love.
awesome.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome.